Hey, what's up guys? Node Investor here. Want to give you guys a quick update on Bitcoin. As we all know, this will drive the direction of the overall market here, and I believe these next couple of days, most specifically these next few hours on the 4-hour chart, are going to be very important in terms of showing the direction this market wants to go to next. We had a very strong rally over the last several days, last week or so, coming off the extreme lows, and we were due for a pause. We saw that here over the last couple of days, so I want to dissect this a little bit, go over some thoughts I have in terms of the bull case and the bear case. But let's take a quick look at the coin market cap. Last week we saw the extreme low, and it bottomed around 280 billion or so and rallied as high as 456 billion, 58 billion or so before kind of pausing here over the last couple of days. But we're hanging out in this $400 billion range or so, which is very good to see us back off of that high $200 billion mark. But we all know that Bitcoin's going to lead the direction for most of this. So let's take a look at that chart here. Now, this is the 4-hour chart of BTC on Bitstamp. And you can see there's two things to look at here. First, the positive, right? We've had this series of higher lows which just continue to be bought up, and we've found a lot of support. Now, we did top out here over the last couple of days right as it hit 9,000. Saw a pretty decent pullback, which took us back to around that $8,000 level, in and around there. Dipped briefly below that, but we started to see a lot of support coming in. And here we are bouncing again, making a little bit of a higher low. But there is also a little bit of a bearish pattern in here that was showing up earlier today, and I was keeping an eye on that, and you guys probably know what that is already. And that is the head and shoulders pattern here, and you can see that was really starting to show up here earlier. Now, I was watching this as the right shoulder, and I wanted to see this become invalidated, and it did. Now, we haven't really confirmed to the upside yet, but it's looking much better. A close above this $8,600 mark or so would really confirm that this head and shoulder was invalid. If it starts to break down here, the neckline, the area to watch on the downside, is around that $7,800, $7,900 level. If we break below that, then we will likely be retesting that low 7K range in and around there. Now, on the upside, what I'm liking here in the positive, if we go to the daily chart, now one of the things I mentioned here in my last live stream, and you guys that follow me and been following me for a while know that I'm a big proponent of these shorter term exponential moving averages. So the line on this chart here is the 10 EMA, and this is on the daily chart. And we've seen multiple times in this downtrend where this has just been that area of resistance that we continue to hit and acts as a wall where a lot of sellers just show up. And here we are in the last several days. That has been the battle zone. That has been where we are trying to rally. We've bounced right into that. We're pulling back in. But what I like here is on these last 2 days, these red days, let me move the volume here. You can see that that's slightly declining volume here the last 2 days, and it's certainly lower than these 2 green days right here in the middle. And so that's positive, the fact that there's not a ton of selling showing up there. And we just started a new daily bar on this chart, and so this is a very early bar, and this is going to be a key day, in my opinion, to see if we can finally get back above that declining 10 EMA and start closing above that. If we do, you know, that's $8,700, $8,800 level, starting to close above that and holding it, it's going to be very positive. And then the next upside that I'm looking for is that $9,300, $9,400 level, and above that, the 10K level. That's going to be a big level to watch. It's going to be a psychological number. It was a big zone of support that finally broke down and saw that sharp leg down that took us to 6K. And so that's going to be their first big test. In my opinion, I think we've still got some headway, some room to go before we run out of steam on this daily RSI. You can see it's only here at 40 or so. Still has plenty of upside. It can go as high as 60 or so if this is still a downtrend, and that would take us to right around that $9,000, $10,000 level. And so I'm positive all around. I'm leaning bullish, but I'm still very cautious because we've just not confirmed to the upside. This declining 10 EMA is continuing to be that wall. The overall daily downtrend is certainly still headed down, right? That's, for the most part, all we've seen so far is a very nice, very strong bounce off the lows. Now, I mentioned this in my live stream on Friday. the positives around how strong this low was, the big reversal, the volume, the fact that we were extremely oversold. There was just so many areas around that made it a very attractive buying opportunity. But is that the low? It's yet to be seen. So I think this week's going to be a very important week in terms of giving us some more signals into where we want to go next. So other than Bitcoin, there's a handful of alts that are still looking pretty strong and holding up well that I'm keeping on my watch list should BTC decide to start rallying and the market get going again. These are the few that I'm going to be looking at first, and so I'll post them in the description here for you guys. We won't do all of the chart analysis today, but I will do a more in-depth market wrap tomorrow. But just some of the names off the top: Lisk, QTUM, POWR, Icon, Neo, Ethereum Classic, Zcash, and Ripple are a handful of names that I'm watching. There's still several others more, but check a look at those charts and just keep an eye on those as this market progresses. If it starts to take off and get going again, those are holding up pretty well, and we could see some outperformance versus BTC in a handful of those names. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, take care.